Hey, Shalom. First, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hope elect house of David. Let's get into this. This is going to be somewhat of a lamback lesson off of the elder brothers, Tazawan and Ayashamath of the GMS Mississippi camp. You know, they was going into how when you're low, when you're at your low points and when you're at your high points, you know, you still have to be in the spirit. You still have to follow after Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You know, you still gotta trust in Him, because what if you don't trust in Him during your low points? Then what? You never trust in Him. You only trust in Him in your good times. There's nothing being proven. But also, you can't, you know, if you can't trust Him in your high points, you know, at your high points, like that means you're basically dependent on money. You know, your faith is somewhere else. You know, so you gotta depend on Yahweh Shema Shai at your low points and in your high points. You know, you gotta trust in Him all times. When it's raining and when it's sunny, you know, snow, sleet, hail, you know how the saying goes. You have to trust in Him, you know, because we're coming into a time where we are going to be persecuted, that we are going to be put on a level worse than we have ever been in. You know? We're going to be on news. We're going to be, you know, the most hated group, the most hated religious group, or they're going to say cult. You know, we're going to be the most despised sect of people on the face of the earth. Once they come with their propaganda, once they come with their demonization, you know, they're going to come with that, and what you're going to have to trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua at that point as well. Because if you don't, the scripture already said what was going to happen. He prophesied it. He told you when his disciples came to him on the Mount of Olives to speak to him, saying, "Tell us." I'm gonna jump down to it. I'm gonna read verse 10. Listen. I'm gonna read verse 10, then we're gonna jump up to 9. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. You see? And many false prophets shall rise. Salakia. I'm just read 10. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and hate one another. Why? Why? Because that persecution, you know? Verse 9, we jump up to verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. It's for His name's sake. You know what? You believe His teachings, how He ordered things to be. You're going to be hated for exactly that. You're going to be hated saying that a man should only marry a woman, and a woman should only marry a man, and there's only two genders. There are only two sexes. You know, there's no in between. You know, you're going to be hated for what was deemed common sense not even too long ago. You know, You're going to be hated and demonized for scriptures for the right way, you know. And they were going into that. They was going into that in their lesson about how, you know, being hated for the right thing, for doing good. Like you gotta lie. The reason why you don't eat pork. The reason why you gotta call off for the Passover. You know, this world has demonized Yahweh Shemal Shine his ways. You know, they look at you crazy when you say, I don't eat pork, I don't eat oil, I don't eat none of that. Well, why? Why? You know, they get hyper emotional because what they've been hit, their knowledge, their reasoning and understanding has been attacked. Because they'll try to go into scripture, but when you go into scripture, then they hear the truth, they are more offended of the truth. Instead of being glad for the enlightenment, glad for the being showed the right way, nah, they get offended. Because what? It's something they've been doing all their lives. It's something they've been doing, it's a habit, but not only that. As I said before, it's their way of life. You're attacking their way of living. You're attacking their belief. You know. But it's all gonna come to what? You trusting Yahweh Shemal Shai, because that's the reason why we're gonna be persecuted for His word's sake. You know. Listen, this is Psalms chapter 37, verse 23. Listen. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighted in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholdeth him with his right hand. Yahweh Shai. You know? So yeah, the good, you're trusting Yahweh Shemal Shai, you following his ways, what? Well, he's gonna order your paths. He's gonna make sure all things are good, which that's include what? Making your enemies be at peace with you, delivering you out of certain situations, someone coming through for you, like someone like a stranger doing you favors and stuff like that. That's Yahweh Shemal Shai. He's ordering your steps. He's guiding you. He's helping you. You know. Because even when you fall, even when you you all fail, you sin, you probably do something stupid, you mess up, make a wrong decision. Well, you get back up and do what? You learn from it and continue. You learn from it and continue. You ask for forgiveness. You ask for a better discernment. You ask for a better understanding, and you continue moving. Listen to this. This is Ecclesiasticus 2:10. Listen. Look at the generation of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that call upon him? Continue calling upon Yahweh Shemal Shai. Ask for forgiveness, mercy, wisdom, understanding. In the times to come, you're going to be good. You're going to be good. You ain't got to be the wisest. I know there's a scripture. I forgot where it was where you said, roughly paraphrasing, you ain't had to know much to be with the Lord. Follow after the Lord. You ain't have to know much. If you got this small amount, you do good. But it's good, to gather wisdom, chase out the wisdom, chase out his wisdom, his understandings, But yeah, the Lord got you, man. The Lord got you. And that's gonna, I don't care how many times I gotta bring that out or say that Yahweh Shem Shai has you. You know, you call upon his name, you do his will, you forsake this world, you know, forsake this world, your status, your image, you know, advancing in this world. You forsake that for his name's sake. Because you believe he's actually coming with a kingdom. You believe he's actually coming with his own thing, his own government. That's good works. You're going to get a reward for that. Here's Isaiah chapter 41. Verse 10, listen. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. The same thing that's, re-uttered, in the old Psalms. You said, I will uphold you with my righteousness, the right hand. That's Yahweh. Yeah, that's Yahweh Shai. He said, don't fear, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee. What? Strengthen you when you're weak. Strengthen you when you're ready to give up. Strengthen you when you think there's no way out. So yeah. You gotta be with Yahweh. You gotta be with Yahweh Shemel Shai. When you're up and you're down. When it's sunny, when it's stormy. Winter or summer or winter. So with that, I hope you was edified. Again, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, the house of David. Until next time, Yahweh willing, Shalom.